I'm sure you were expecting to hear the voice of a beautiful elf or a wise wizard, so they could spin you a tale of gold and ancient evils. But that is not this story. No, this is a story of four friends that call Middle-earth home. A dwarf of the line of Durin's kin, who is obsessed with knowledge instead of gold. An elf of Rivendell, sworn to serve and protect the descendants of a once great house. A banished dwarf, seeking glory and proof that there is more to life than what lies under a mountain. And a hobbit of the Shire, who collects treasures of the smallest kind. Together, with their strength, wits, and heart, they will face the growing shadows of the East, bringing light where there is darkness.
You see this figure reach out and grab a torch and pulls it up, and you recognize this dwarf. This dwarf was in the Inn of the Prancing Pony. He was there the night that Thomas ran inside and passed out.
It sure is easier for all of us to get a drink at the Prancing Pony if you toss that rope, Help us get out of here, Master Dwarf.
Me master sent me to fetch the map, but I found a far richer prize. Timaeus murdered my brother Gron on this very hill, and if for any justice, 'twould be his bones that lie below and not me brother's. Well,
I will bring you what gold I can carry. However, you will not take my weapons.
I mean, we're gonna need 'em, aren't we, to get all this gold up to you? No telling what's down in this spooky cave.
Fine. Bring me my gold. Any treasures you find down there.
Elvorn, I don't know why you didn't just put an arrow right through his eyes.
I'd rather not kill people if I don't have to.
I mean, it's a nasty business, but well, now we're here doing his dirty bidding.
Now, Master Dwarf, what was your name again?
Since they call me Gror.
Of course they do. Gror. Well, I am Glowfrum, daughter of Glowing.
I don't rightly care.
Well, you might want to.
Okay, cool. So you all do your best version of hiding. Hours pass, some of you slip into sleep, and eventually you hear the of the stone boulder being rolled out of the way. Oi, everyone went down in the lower chamber, and they got some of the gold, and they kept going back, and I think the gold made them greedy, and they drowned. You see, so I just kind of pushed their floaters into the barrow, and then I went in and I took up some of the gold myself. I got a little crown here, and he reaches down and takes it off of Thomas. Oh, and I got a little stack here, and I got a bunch of things. So if you'll come down, and now we'll get this right out of here. Where are the bodies? Oh, I put it in the water. I floated them. All right. Ron, Don, Max, earn your coin. All right, boss. All right. Glowfrum springs the trap, runs. Everyone's bewildered as this dwarf explodes out of nowhere and starts scrambling up the wall. None too fast before someone reaches and just plants her. In the distraction, Elvaneth pops up, bow ready, sails it directly into the sun because you're looking directly into the sun. It just misses Gror, just to the left of his head. He kind of ducks behind the boulder. And in the confusion of all of this, Willie barrels out and slams into someone's thigh. But it's like a fat toddler. And he stumbles, but he only stumbles a foot and a half before he just palms your head and sort of shoves you off away from him. All right, that's it. Just kill him. You pull your little hobbit dagger and you charge at this man the same way you tried to bowl him over, and you stab right through his thigh, just missing the femoral artery. And you pull out, blood soaks this guy's leg in an instant. Ah, fuck! And he falls to the ground. Max is going to charge towards Glowfrum and shove Glowfrum out of the way. And he grabs the wall and starts scrambling up there. Willie, you
also trying to get up the ladder,
you see Glowfrum struggling as she slides down a second time. You sort of dip between her and you begin to scramble up this stone wall. You can see a good 3-4 feet in front of you the boots of the man who's leaving. And you see like his torso kind of go over the front. As you look up to make sure you're getting these handholds, you see Max go backwards in slow motion and tumble off of this thing. And where Max once was, you see Gror up there and his foot is extended into the barrow. He just kicked Max in the face. And Elverneth has her bow out and ready to go. Pew! You fire into this guy. He stumbles back a few paces. Willie, you see an arrow right by your ear, and you see it hit Gror in the shoulder. And despite the hardy build you know of dwarves, you see it right through the other side of his shoulder. Ow! Fuck! And he like kicks out at you wildly to no avail.
I bend over and I'm breathing heavy, and I go, Elevornith, and I kind of talk to my back so that Elevornith can get a boost, maybe a hop and jump up there. Use me as a stepping stone.
Gror kicked wildly at you, Willie, and you see him look at the hole, look at you, really look at you for a second, and then he takes off into the Midgewater marshes.
All right, that's it. First, I'm gonna fight.
Live to fight another day.
May a troll eat you.
Well, I do have a bit of good news. Seems my raven was received, and I have a response. Well, Glowfrom, you'll enjoy this. I sent a raven to Elrond of Rivendell just before we left, and he has agreed to become our patron, if we so choose.
We're gonna get to go to Rivendell?
Yes, well, I mean, I don't really...
What does he mean by patron?
Well, this is generally a person who funds your endeavors and helps guide you on whatever adventuring you might
Are we
need.
gonna get to talk to him?
I would expect so at one point. He doesn't quite often leave Rivendell.
Are you friends with a lot of, well-to-do elves?
Friends is an interesting word choice. We are close.
So you just sent a raven to Elrond of Rivendell?
I imagine if you were to attempt to send a raven to your grandfather, that you would
I'm sorry.
as well receive an answer.
Oh my god.
Knowing that, what is it you're doing in Bree, Orphan?
Messenger. I am here to uphold the Dunedain way, the Ranger way, and also to, well, we've been searching, as you can see, for signs of potential recursion, potential return of what we saw, of darkness, of shadow, of
The
return of the enemy. Any sign, any potential, anywhere, we are trying to keep an eye out.
It is lucky that we found you when we did, because it led us to a place that definitely shows signs, which is why I sent the raven in the first place.
Oh, I see.
And to answer your question, I don't believe I'm special. I just know that we were lucky to have Elevorna to come to us to help us out. We're a dying group. There are far few of us, and there's not enough to continue our ways, not enough to pass on our knowledge, not enough to continue to train us and help us reach our potential and to go out and do what we must do. And in that time of crisis, Eleanor came to us to help.
So then, what is it that Elrond wants with us? With me and Will?
Well,
I'm just waiting around for Bilbo Baggins to open his front door, you know what I mean?
he's already done that once.
Well, technically, I'm not legally allowed to go on his front lawn anymore. But I can take a gander from afar. What now? I mean, we followed the treasure map. We found what was down there. We've, sold what we could. Have you learned anything about the crown? But other than that, I was thinking maybe tomorrow I'd sleep in and maybe grab an extra early logger.
I mean,
That doesn't have to change now.
We did.
But what does it
rest.
mean for him to be our patron? Like, is he going to ask us to do stuff, scary stuff? I'm technically a pacifist. I don't really like fighting.
If I recall, you taunted a troll.
I may have taunted him, but I didn't want to fight him. I don't even make weapons, not with these hands. So, just so I get this fully straight, that treasure we found at the bottom of some flooded cave, tomb really, is an old, ancient Aranor artifact?
It is.
And what is the significance of the stars and the pearl? Is that it's from one of the original houses, you said?
This
Yes.
is the house, yes. This is the original kingdom that it all started from.
What are we doing with that?
You tell me.
Don't
Well-
know. That's really that is like thousands of years old, ages old.
And now it's brought to the surface where everybody can take a look at it and see and understand the power behind it, the history behind it.
But I no questions there from Glowfrom. I'm just thinking, what are we doing with it? I'm a bit nervous being, that seems important. And on a pretty regular basis, I break just about everything I touch.
Well, good thing it's not sitting on your head. Glowfrom, look, lost things are meant to be found. We happen to find it.
Glowfrom, what is the likelihood that out of all of the trips that Timaeus and all the other adventurers that were going to that cave, how many times do you think they went there? Probably a lot. And they've skimmed the bottom of this flooded cave many times. Did they find it? No, I did.
I see what you're getting at.
Sometimes.
Orphan was meant to have this crown. I get it now. Okay, I'm in. I've got an idea. What if we do this the old-fashioned? The only way to learn about Shadow is to go to the people who are closest to it. We start putting some rumors around, paying off a bunch of, whale-do-nothings here in town. Start learning about where troll sightings have been. We can set up a map, mark the most recent troll sightings, or strange sightings of a sort, and try to get a general area. See if we can pinpoint, a centralized location.
To do this conspicuously, otherwise we don't want anybody to have to point it to us to say that we are looking for this information.
Oh yes, no, we should be. There are 4 lads in here I could get shadowy information out of in about 10 minutes time. Don't ask me. Part of the beauty is I don't know yet, but I could do it. Because I'm telling you, they've got that information. Most of it is they want to spill it anyways, right? Darkness spreads from person to person. Putting the worm in your ear, if it were.
I could also go undercover. I could perhaps get into their company and ask around.
About to say, usually they'll spill the beans if you do first. So make up some fake story about how you saw something ridiculous. Something nobody would believe. I bet you they'll believe it.
Well, I could use some stories, I suppose. Make something up.
Well, following rumors and hearsay is how we got this far, and I believe it's worth at least investigating. Though, I question the wisdom of actually going undercover. It seems as though that's a good way to get yourself separated or targeted in some way.
Well, I'm well liked round these parts. I could do it.
I feel that as good as you are, Gorfin, I feel that you would probably stand out a lot more. And if anybody were to ask around and wonder why people are asking about troll sightings and any other strange things about, they would be easily, there's the dwarf over there, the one that is flashy.
Watch this. I get up and I act a little sway drunk with my mug in my hand, and I go, "Gold coins for the best story in the house. I'll go first." And I slide a gold coin across the table in the middle of the prancing pony. And I say, "I saw a troll. And not any troll, but a troll with a hobbit trapped to its side, running through the burrows." And I drink. Beat that.
And almost simultaneously, you smash this flagon down. The door to the prancing pony bursts open, reminiscent of your first night here, and a cold, cold northern gust of wind blows in, and the fire in the hearth sputters out. and all eyes turn to you and your party. You have their rapt attention. No one has a story that can beat yours, but everyone is paying attention to you.
2 gold coins for anybody that's got a story that can beat mine. No?
The
All right,
entire
fine.
the entire room falls to a level of silence you've never once heard at the Prancing
That's
Pony.
okay. That's okay. I can still learn a lot from this. While I'm standing here and all eyes are on me. Who looks guilty?
And you look around, and what you notice is, firstly, no one here looks guilty, but
All right,
everyone
but
here, everyone here looks terrified. Montage of of our characters scattered about Bree, poring over books, maps, tomes, listening, making a quartermaster's list of possible resources, and observing the town in an inconspicuous way. Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of our Shattered Crown series. Don't know why the scene didn't switch. That's okay. I'll fix that in Elgato. Thanks for being awesome, Stream Deck. Welcome to the show. Sorry for that little bit of delay. Dot was telling us all about her dating life. All of her rules. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is on the Patreon. Link for that down below. Join us at the $5 tier. You get access to this after show for this episode and all of the previous shows back for like the last 3 years. At the $5 tier, the $10 tier, you get access to all kinds of stream prep things. While you're down there, clicking on that Patreon link, click on the Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community. Yes, I know that the cameras are in the wrong order. I was enthralled by the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves 2 purposes. One is when that bar fills, I unleash terrible shadows from an elder age on my players and their characters. And 2, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. That's
Help
it.
feed my cats.
That's all I got. I'm gonna readjust. Help feed my cats.
It's tonight's pitch, everybody. Fill that bar to feed our cats.
Collectively, everyone's cats.
Everybody's cats is actually getting the portion of the dollar because you know
I'll
they're gonna
find a cat.
Armor maintenance is expensive. Help! No, I'm just kidding.
My partner Cinda is my cat, and she also needs to get fed. So
There you go.
There we go.
All for the cats.
I'm a cat.
Cool. Everyone is in the right spot. We've had our extra long recap. Let's jump
We
into
have
the
our
show.
first corruption bar.
We have our first
Yeah,
corruption bar.
feed the cats.
Let's jump in. Let's jump in here. You guys, wow, it's been so long since we've played Shattered Crown. I got all fucked up here. I'm a little choked up. You guys are all in Bree. When we last left you, it has been 3 weeks. We'll say we'll put a time frame to it. It's been 3 weeks. Glowfram, you have handmade with your own artistic rendering. Wanted posters for Gror, the dwarf. Now, my question for you, Dot, are they photorealistic pictures of Gror, or is it like a poorly drawn dwarf with like a dick?
Okay, well, Dot may not be a great artist. I don't think it's not a scandal poster.
Okay.
Like, I want people to be able to find this mofo. I want information.
Well, see, I know that you want that, but I also have seen the personality of Glowfram, so it was one or the other,
But
and I had
here's
to
the
ask
thing.
which
Glowfram
one.
is a scholar, and if
Yeah.
we talk about her crafting level, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
So
I'm
would
not saying
say,
you don't have the
since she
ability to make
writes
it.
books,
Mhm.
but for this one, it definitely is like a really good wanted poster. I imagine she probably found a press or found a way to like do an ink press of some kind so that she
Sure.
could like actually print these out. Like, she put some effort into it. She wants this mofo.
Okay, cool. So there's no hidden graffiti. He doesn't have a second mustache. Outstanding. So you have scattered
maybe
these.
one of them in town.
Yeah, afterwards you printed them out and then you secretly went back with a big red pen and Druid dick.
So,
Yes.
if Glowfrom is, if Elverneth realizes that Glowfrom is doing this, she might suggest doing a relief carving, like a stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So you can make like a carving of his face, and that way you don't have to keep drawing it a bunch of times.
Yeah, that Glowfirm was gonna do the old, they're like a pillar and you carve into them and then you roll them on
Yeah.
ink.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, because I was gonna use a big stone, so basically the same idea. It's just yeah, so they're same thing, a relief print of some kind.
Love it. Okay, cool. So those have been scattered around town. Elverneth, I like that you put a pronunciation of your name in Zoom.
Everyone has a hard time with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You have been searching for rumors around the towns that make up the Breeland, trying to figure out what is your next step. Possibly about Gror, possibly about the Black Barrow, just sort of seeking information in general. And a combination of Willie and Glowfrim have been combing through old documents, old text, old maps of the area, trying to get a better handle on the places you never thought you'd have to go. Realistically, right? Because Elverneth and Orphan have been all around the untraipsed places here, but you guys stick to the road. You stick to the road, you stick to the taverns, you stick to the places that are safe, that need fences, and better yet, have them. So getting familiar with the area around the Breelands that you never thought you'd go to is what you have been doing. So what that's going to net you, Willie, is a bonus on a journey roll going forward on this next adventure, which is cool for you. Yeah, that's where we pick up. So you guys are all in Bree. No rumor worthy of progression has come up yet, Elverneth. But I'll give you one. Don't we worry. And Dot, Glowfrom, you have scattered these about town, hoping to cast a wide net.
Yeah, I imagine you see Glowfrom like the last poster
Mhm.
that she had in her stack is like being like tacked up, right? She's like hammering it in with her giant blacksmithing hammer on the side of this building, the last of the posters. And she just kind of turns around and
She dusts her hands off and she says, well, what's done is done. All we can do is wait now.
Are you alone as you're tacking this up, or is anyone?
I don't know. I was hoping that Willie and Elvornith were behind me, but maybe I turn around and they're gone and I'm once again talking to myself.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the first time. I'll turn and speak to the goat.
It's Bree. There's always a goat.
I
The goat looks at you with his crazy wonky goat eyes and bleats out a noise that you're sure is confirmation for exactly what you were hoping it to be. He knows. He knows. That goat knows some things. He's seen some things. Survived a troll attack.
If I only spoke your tongue, me friend, and I'll just give him a little rustle on his tuff.
Yeah. That's gonna get clipped forever. Outstanding.
Now, where did they go? And I'll look about for the rest of the party. I'm feeling a little adventurous, but I don't tell nobody because it's just a walkabout.
It's terrifying. Where are Elverneth and Willie?
Good question. I think. I mean, look, putting up signs and all is great, good fun, but I mean, it's a bit boring, and all I've been doing is kind of waiting around and drinking and doing odd and end jobs here and there, and I think Willie's just bored. So do what he can do. Little old Willie is probably kind of found himself in the market, and is trying to trade off some trinkets that he's acquired and. Just trade for other fine little trinkets.
Okay. You know what? Let's have our first nonsensical roll. for this evening, just to get us back in.
I'm gonna do a great success on this.
Okay,
Fantastic.
I sure hope so. What do I want you to roll for this fuckery?
Did you just try to scam Mike?
Well,
I think you did. You just tried to scam Mike out of
bullshit roll.
Yeah.
I said it was a bullshit roll, so I gave him a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've got cheers right here.
I heard it. I heard the bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna great successes. It's gonna be fantastic.
I
Because I'm
can't
not gonna
believe
land a
that.
great success on anything else. I can only do it on
Things that don't matter.
things that don't matter.
Yeah. That
Well,
is
show us how it's done, Gnome.
that is
Yeah, let's
correct.
go.
That is
go.
correct. I would
Great.
like you to roll me a song.
Oh, a song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
I love a good song.
Yeah, I'm a hobbit. Like a good song. Did it roll? Did it go?
I feel
Where's
like there's
the-
more to the persuasion of selling your goods. There's a little bit of a story to them. You have to make it reasonable
Oh,
as to why people
absolute
might want to buy
failure.
this. Oh, look at that! A great success, everyone.
Oh, no, that was a great
Outstanding.
success.
Outstanding. So yeah, you have been
Look,
hawking.
Willie absolutely thinks that he's doing
Oh,
very
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing great.
On the
Maybe
bright
he's
side,
already had a day drink or two.
yeah, you're doing at least as well as the last time you tried to sell things, which was to a bunch of brigands who also didn't buy anything. However, no one has collapsed nearly dead on the floor in front of you. So it's a win. It's a win-win at this point.
Are you just doing this out in the open?
Yeah, probably right in the middle somewhere.
Oh, then I probably hear the sound of Willie's song
Oh, yeah.
ringing out through the streets of Bree.
Absolutely.
And so I know exactly where I'm headed. And you know what? Here's the question. What song is Willie doing? Because is this something that we've like performed together in the past? Because I'll come here at the end and try to help you out. You know what I mean?
I feel like
finish
I feel
duo
like it's
style.
It's like a little hobbit, an old hobbit tale or something like.
Is there a way I can
the
help
greatest
Willie?
thing you sing is going to be about the toll ring. You should check it out and all the things that I'm going to sing. It's about this big old toll ring. You should come and check it out. It is great and full of stories. Just come to check out my toll ring. There you go.
Noir, you can back
Perfect.
out at the end of the episode if that's something that you
Perfect.
want to do.
This is what I signed up for.
Okay.
I just like come around the corner, like full spring jump right in with Willie to try to help him finish out the last little bit. Give it a little oomph.
Yes, and he's holding up a little toll ring.
Of course he is.
I mean, it's just a ring, but for hobbits to go in a tail.
It's
a large ring.
I love where this is going. Elverneth, what are you doing?
So I like to think that we weren't even in the same, like, we weren't going to the same task.
Yes.
That Willie and Glowfrim were out going to put the posters up, and Alverneth wanted peace and quiet. So she actually just went outside of town, and she's just sitting on a stump in the woods, enjoying solitude.
Quiet contemplation. Is there
Yeah.
anything you've had? It's been a time, right? You met some friends in Bree. You fought an old troll. You found an old barrow, an ancient barrow. You found what is possibly an ancient, semi-magical at least, crown. And your grandfather has decided to be, in a roundabout way, your patron to support your further adventures. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
What are you contemplating as you sit out here?
I think the what is the next correct step here? Because we haven't brought up any kind of real leads or anything else other than going back there and investigating further, which was pretty risky to go the first time, and my grandfather couldn't really like send much in the way of backup. I have a dwarf who is a pacifist and a hobbit as my companions, as well as someone who I'm supposed to be protecting. So I feel like taking them back there is probably not the correct step. Yeah, it's just going. Elverneth is just going over all of the pieces of the puzzle that she knows she has and trying to find ways to connect them differently. She's just going over the pieces and seeing what she can shake out of it in that quiet, in that solitude, listening to nothing more than just the birds.
Roll me an awareness with a bonus of 1.
Awareness with a bonus of 1.
Yes.
How do I do a bonus?
I believe it should pop up when you click it.
Yeah, it might be a modifier box.
Oh, I see.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Great success. Ooh.
What's up?
See,
Called a
no, that's
26.
that's how you do that. That's what a great success would look
Yeah,
like.
no,
That's
look,
that's
I set-
what
I
it
set
looks
up.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I set it up so that Elvenath could be successful on a very serious role.
You just
Right.
you had
Yeah.
to warm up roll 20 for me.
Michael, it's called priorities.
Okay. The old alley-oop of dice. Outstanding. You sit there in quiet contemplation, thinking about what the next and best course of actions might be, given with whom you're traveling. And as you are lost in thought and feeling more at home in nature, as it were, you see a slinking figure. And at first it just sort of blends in with shadow as it is moving, as this vaguely humanoid shape is moving through the forest. But you see it again move in ways that a shadow shouldn't move. And as you draw your attention towards this, you see that this person thing moves as quietly as you would move through a forest. Like practiced with steps. Not a single twig cracks, a leaf bends, nothing. And you realize as you sort of muse over this silent person that you may have seen this person before. And with a great success, your memory casts back about 4.5 weeks ago as you traveled via horseback to find a little hobbit strapped to the leg of a galloping troll. And you passed by but did not stop to see a humanoid figure passing through the mists. And it's something about the way this person moves, something about their gait. You recognize this as the same person. And as they approach, they're not going out of their way to avoid you. They're also not really acknowledging you. As they get closer, you can see just enough of their face that you recognize this person. This is another ranger of the north. Her name is Haleth, and you know that normally she ranges west and south of Rivendell, in the area around the Angle, in the area around Eregion, south of Rivendell. She is known to the elves, as most rangers are, and she is known for protecting the area west and south, to include the Trollshaws of any sort of untoward doings. Why she is this far west, not once but twice. You had saw her once in the South Downs and now just outside Bree. You're not entirely sure. It is a bit further than she normally ranges, but she is headed in the direction of Bree, but does not stop to say anything to you unless you stop her.
What was her name one more time?
Haleth.
Haleth. I'm spelling that however I want until you tell me otherwise. I will I'll whistle to her like a sparrow. Just as like an acknowledgement of I see you there. If she decides to come and talk to me, she would know that that also means like I'm open to talk.
Sure. Yeah, she you hear you whistle and she stops. You see her look about for a second, and then her eyes lock on yours, and she does head quietly over towards you. And there's almost a look of expectance, like she expected you to know something that you may or may not know, right? She walks over to you as if waiting for you to give her information and not the other way around. And she sort of crosses her arms and she says, well, what is it then?
What brings you this far west?
Are you unaware? I thought you were calling me.
Have you been called this way?
You travel with one of ours, right?
Yes.
Has he not been informed?
Come to think of it, I haven't seen him in several days. Maybe he has and hasn't told me.
That would explain.
What?
There is a moot of sorts. Rangers of the area have been called to Amansul to discuss some recent findings. I assumed that you would have been told as you travel with one of ours.
This is the first I'm hearing of it, though. Seems communication has broken down somewhere. Thank you for providing this. Do you bring any news that you can care to share now?
You know what? Let us meet in Bree. I am headed this way to find someone else. I had thought to find your companion, but if he has left, then perhaps he is. We've already passed, and he is already headed to where he should be. I'm supposed to be meeting someone in Bree. Why don't we meet at the Inn of the Prancing Pony?
I will.
And she sort of nods to you, adjusts her hood, and she disappears back into the forest in the direction of Bree. Do you return, or do you sort of mill about for a little bit, giving her a head start?
I give her a little bit of a head start as I contemplate why Orphan may not have told me that there had been a calling.
Okay. You again sit in quiet contemplation as you try to figure this out. Willie and Dot, the day sort of passes. Elverneth is not seen from or heard as she is off. Your posters are hung. Your maps have been checked. Your wares have not been hawked. Or they have been hawked, just not sold.
Did we find anything in all of that research that we did? Like, was anything found, information of value?
Yes. I will get to that. I promise.
Oh, I'm
you.
sorry. I
yeah,
didn't
no,
mean
no.
to jump
No, you're fine. So Willie's thing during the fellowship phase was more about maps, less about Gror, right? It was more about tracking things down, or tracking ways to traverse the countryside, right? The day begins to fade towards nightfall. The sky turns from blues to purples to pinks and oranges as the sun begins to set. Calling you to your home away from home, the Inn at the Prancing Pony. I assume since you two are in town, you are the first to arrive there, shortly followed by Elverneth, who comes in her own time. In the Inn of the Prancing Pony, you see Barnabas, who is the tomato-nosed caretaker, with his mustache and happy grin. You do see that there are a handful of travelers, humans. They seem to be headed in a generally western direction. For those of you who have been in town, have seen them come in from the an easterly direction, having come in from the west. You see that there are a few dwarves, as there are commonly. Glowfrom, you see someone that sticks out. Not in a way that you know.
Oh,
Yordrick. Is it Yoldrick?
Eldrick. Yep.
Okay, cool. Are you disguising yourself in any way? And by yourself, I mean your face.
Not at all. He's wearing his exiled cut beard proudly. It's like if I've gotta carry this burden, I'm gonna carry it with pride.
Okay, fantastic. So do us a favor. Describe what Yoldrick looks like as he sits at the Inn of the Prancing Pony.
First thing you'll notice is that there are a number of empty tankards in front of Yoldrick. He's wearing traditional dwarven armor with mail all around it and slightly more flamboyant cloths around it. If there is a keen eye, you might notice that there is some elven embroidery kind of tucked in every now and then. And the one thing that you do notice is that if there are any other dwarves that are kind of making eyes at him, he just makes eye contact with them, not backing down. But his beard, it has been shaven. He's only got a goatee. And there is a bit of scarring showing that he is an exile from the Misty Mountains.
so Glowfrom is just, this is interesting because she too is a dwarf without a beard, just a mustache. But she's never seen a dwarf with a goatee. So she slips right up to the counter. I like the cut of your jib. Do you do that yourself?
Many would say that I did with my foolishness. Quite
Well,
a hefty
I'd
price
say-
for a shave.
Well, I'd say it suits you rather nicely. I'm guessing you don't go walking about the mountains with, your chin about.
I try not to. Tends to draw the wrong type of attention.
See, this is real interesting to me because they don't like my chin about the mountain neither. And I haven't seen you in these parts. And let me tell you, I've been in and out of Brie, if you know what I mean.
Interesting friends you keep.
Yes, well, better have good friends than, no friends.
Are you insulting him?
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
it's better to have good friends.
I
Would
can-
you, care for some company? We're good company. Really, he sings.
Well, I'm certain that would be delightful. I'm currently looking for someone. And he's going to go into the satchel and pull out a wanted poster. I need to find.
I made that. I put them posters up. You found one.
Then I need to find you.
Do you have a name, good sir?
Yoldrick Blackforge.
Oh, Owl's beard. I know you.
Most likely from shameful stories, no doubt, but I promise that.
Look, I got a whole page in my book right here dedicated to you. You're the reason I shaved my beard. You're like me hero. Oh, can we get some extra drinks over here? Willie, you got to meet. I found him. Do you know who this is?
You might want to keep it down. He's looking at the other dwarves just to see if they're reacting.
They're not reacting in any sort of aggressive way. You've definitely been spotted, and they're aware. And it's they know why your beard is shaved, right? Like it's a common thing. So there's a little bit of a look at get a load of this guy, right? Like a little bit of a distrust. And Glowfrom, whether for good or ill, already has a bit of a reputation in Bree. And whether that helps you or hurts you, you're not entirely sure. But they are now made more aware of the both of you, and you're both getting the same sort of disapproving glances.
Well, you know what? I look back at them and I I take the drinks and I adjust my bosom and I say, well, don't be jealous, gentlemen. You could shave your beards too. And I pass him a drink and I say, come on, we've got the booth.
This
It'd
is
be
probably
foolish
about
to
when.
invite. Oh, go ahead.
No, go. You were saying something important.
He was just gonna say it'd be foolish to deny such a request, and he's gonna follow.
This is probably about the time that Elverneth walks in.
Elverneth, you see what is a typical Tuesday night unfolding with Glowfram. Willie off in your common booth. Orphan is still not here. You do clock several dwarves, traders, caravanners, and off in the turret room side of the prancing pony, sitting beside the green glass stained windows, you do see rocked back in a chair so that her face is cast in shadow. What you know to be Haleth, but her hood is up, and a large ornate pipe extends about a foot, maybe 14 inches out of her mouth as you see a big plume of smoke sort of obscure her even further. She has not signaled you or approached you, but she is watching. You can tell she's watching this tavern.
I quickly wave. I wave Elvornith over to the. Come on, very excited.
I walk over. I kind of make eye contact with Haleth, and I walk over to my friends, pulling out some herbs that I collected while I was out in the woods, on the table for Willie. These may be helpful. That one tastes like lemongrass. It's not lemongrass, but it tastes like it.
Oh, I'm glad you said something. I was going to smoke it.
Oh, it's good for tea.
Oh,
I thought she was bringing us some smoking.
hey, me too. It's okay. We got plenty. Tea's nice. Does it make you sleepy? I have trouble sleeping.
Not this one, but
Oh.
I will keep an eye out for chamomile.
Well, I have somebody to introduce to all of you. This is the legendary, the exorbitant, the ground shaking, earth breaking.
Yeldrick Blackforge. It's a pleasure to meet such a colorful party.
Wait right there just a second, young master. This here is the one that you've been talking about.
Forever. You remember me telling you where I used to sit around and all the little dwarves would be told stories about what they should and shouldn't do. And they tell these scary tales about exiling this one. Remember they called him the Beardless. But when everybody else was so sad, all I could think was, wow, there's somebody that's brave. It wants the truth of the matter. You inspired me to write. You're the reason I shaved my beard and curled my mustache, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm glad that something good could come from my experience, though the idea of someone aspiring to be a dwarf that tells other dwarves to stop digging is something that I have not encountered in my travels.
Well, digging's overrated.
My words exactly, but I wouldn't say them too loudly.
I'll say them as loud as I want. What are they going to do? Kick me out the mountain?
So,
but these are my friends. This is Willie and this is Elvornith and
Ornith, a pleasure, Master Elf. Willie, a pleasure, Master Hobbit.
What brings you here?
Well,
where's the breed?
Go ahead, show them what brings you here.
Pulls out the wanted poster.
Oh, it did work.
I told you, sometimes you just got to really just slap a face on a building. You know what I mean?
Yes, if there are those that would face war, then I would love to be counted among the number that stand in his way. He has
He didn't want to stand in our way. He ran straight off like a yellow belly coward.
I think that's because you came out of the cave first, Willie.
Well, I'm not anything to be messed with.
Wait, what did he do to you, though?
He tried to recruit me. He has made it his duty to acquire dishonored and exiled dwarves among his number. For what purpose, I do not know. But to see my kin used in such a way, if there might be some measure of glory, some measure of redemption that I could find amongst my kin in the Misty Mountain, I believe that I could acquire it by bringing them or
Well, I'm all behind you. I want him locked up too. I tried. I couldn't really get him to slow down none, but the Lonely Mountain is always ready to, put a dwarf down for whatever. What is he recruiting people for?
he kept his intentions vague.
Oh, until you
But-
signed on.
Yes. I saw the type of man he is. He is without honor. He is without valor. And his intentions are insidious.
Well, we're looking for him. Do you have any information? You can come with us.
If you find him, there will be bloodshed. Is this company? Are you prepared for that battle?
I took off a man's leg, clean straight off, one blow.
He rode a troll too.
I did that too.
You encountered a troll and survived. Impressive, Master Hobbit.
He's a very sneaky one. Bound himself to the troll's body, he did. Real brave.
Foolish, but brave.
A tactic I would not be so ready to employ myself, but one to be admired for its creativity.
Well, what if we told you we saw him in town recently? He, in fact, tried to lock us. Well, he did, in fact, lock us in a tomb.
Then I would ask you to tell me where he is.
He ran off. We was in the Midwater Marshes. It was a dreadful place, but he came back, and when we managed to escape and weirdly got the better of him, Elavornith put an arrow through his leg, and he tore off, and we couldn't find him after. So he's out there injured, that's for sure. Do I know which direction he went off to? North, south? Which way he ran off in the swamp?
Willie would know.
Willie?
He ran off to the north. Willie was the only one up there when he hightailed.
Willie saw him leave.
Are any of you familiar with an individual by the name of Gorlong?
Wait, that name sounds real familiar. Let me check my book. Because I do have that name written down there. So it's just some. Nope. Nope.
What was the name?
Gorlock.
Gorlong.
Yes. Where do I remember that name from?
Oh, we do. We do know the name.
We do know this name. I just have to find it in my writings.
A small piece of
Blackbird,
information.
Barrow,
Oh.
Golank, Wax Seal, Unearth, words that were found in a waterlogged
Oh.
leather.
Yes. Who is Gorlock? I have it right here. Who is it?
He is the one that Gwar works under. He is,
Interesting.
according to the rumors and the whispers that I've gathered, quite a powerful sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Gwar and Gorlonk may be attempting to locate an ancient treasure, but beyond that, I know nothing. I would like to find Gwar before he reconvenes with Gorlonk. I have not met my better with a blade, but magic, well, that's That is something I may need assistance conquering.
I look to Elevorneth. You know anything about magics?
Hey, Mike, does Elvin know anything about magics?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
know what skill that would be. in
roll
particular.
me a. I want to say a lore. My gut tells me it's gonna be a lore roll.
Do I get any bonus die for being really fucking old?
No, you got bonus skills for being really fucking old.
That's
so
Success.
success. Yeah, you literally hit the
Phew.
target number. Wow, that was a close.
Nice.
Whew.
Yeah.
Take it.
So here's the thing, right? Is magic among the elves is and again this is Lord of the Rings, this is Middle Earth. It's not like wizards like Dungeons and Dragons. The magic of the elves is often touted your abilities for healing, almost lost ability to craft magical items. So magic in and of itself is not unheard of to Elveneth. Especially one as old as you. You've seen magic things. You've seen magic pass through the realm. Whether you have met or not, you are at least aware of and have probably seen in court one traveling gray wizard. You know of the White Council. You know that to the east, Lady Galadriel has some sort of potent abilities, and you know that your grandfather himself also has been touted to have some magical ability. It is rare among men, or among the race of men, that one would have the knowledge, let alone the capacity to wield any kind of magic. Usually, it is in a smaller, reduced capacity, but it's not unheard of. It
Have we confirmed
manifests.
he's human?
You have not.
Okay.
You have
that was
not
me asking
confirmed.
you.
You have not confirmed he's human. You have not heard of dwarven magic. Though there may be a kind, and perhaps Glowfrom knows of that. But I would assume, based on everything you've learned, this doesn't sound like an elf, right? This doesn't sound like an elf that defected and is just deciding to go muck about in human lands. Most of the elves that are done here just leave. They just go to the Grey Havens and they're out.
So to that I will say, I know of magics of my people, but this does not sound like it is of my people, though it is also extremely concerning. We'll definitely.
You said he's searching for treasure. What could it possibly be?
Not anything, but something in particular, not just any treasure, but something old.
Like
Very
a
old.
crown?
I do not know. But I do know that some things are better left buried, forgotten.
You think whatever he's looking for is one of those things?
I'm certain of it.
Just so you know, Willie and I have a bit of a problem with finding things, meaning we like to do it quite often.
We're very good at this.
And we're real good at it. I usually like to just, document it, write it down, sketch it. But Willie likes to, collect the baubles.
Well, perhaps I lack imagination, but I don't see the world coming to its knees because of a bauble.
So you're thinking this is like more than a bauble.
I don't know anything for sure.
Well, who can we talk to that would? because we've
Oh.
exhausted Bree on what little books it has, and most of the men around here don't know much.
I have no intentions of finding what I need to know from a book. I intend to find the information I need from him.
Oh, I see. Oh, right.
Well, um, I may be able to find a bit more information here in Bree. And
Oh,
I will stand up and walk over to the table in the corner with Haleth and take a seat.
Outstanding. So you all see Elverdeth walk across the tavern and sit at a table that it just sort of like as your eyes cast about the room, they just sort of pass over this as if nothing was there. You see her head over to this table, pull up a seat, and as she sits down, it's almost as if like you rubbed the sleep out of your eyes, and the table itself becomes slightly more clear, and you realize that there's a person sitting across from Elverneth. Maybe that person was there the entire time. You're not sure, but you do see a cherry red ember at the end of a pipe blaze to life and a big plume of smoke out of her mouth a second later. And unless anyone follows her over there, the conversation is nearly inaudible. Elverness, she sits across from you. She tips her chair forward. You can hear the front two legs hit the ground. She says, your friend is quite loud. It's a wonder you can get anything done. You're muted.
I know. It's actually beneficial. Everyone is looking at her. They rarely look at me. Usually I stick out a little bit more, especially among some such simple people like this who are very almost blind to people walking through town who don't fit.
I told you I would give you more information here. I'm still waiting for a companion, and as they have not shown, perhaps I can share with you. It has come to our, and she says our in a very much like you know that she means the other rangers, or the rangers as a whole. It has come to our attention that you and your companions ran afoul of the old troll.
Yes. We actually caught it here in town. During the altercation further outside town, my companion got stuck on it, so.
And he lives.
He's a hardy one. Very brave. Foolish, but brave. And much smarter than he looks.
Interesting. The troll, if you were unaware, still yet lives. He is ancient, would be a good word to use. Far older than I. Um, I encountered him some 30, 40 years ago, perhaps, in the outskirts near Rivendell, and myself and a few of my kin, we drove him back from those lands. Nothing to do about in Rivendell. I assume you tracked him to his lair. It is quite dangerous there. We keep an eye on him. Strange that he was this far north from where he usually ranges. It's good that you haven't put an end to him. he is a valuable asset in that he is someone that we maintain a watchful eye on. As I said, he is an ancient even among his kind. There have been. Oh, God.
No, go on.
There have been dark stirrings recently, growing since the death of Smaug, the restoration of Erebor. It had been kept to the eastern side of the Misty Mountains, but something has returned here, to these lands. I'm not entirely sure what it is, what's moving in the shadows, what hides in the darkness, but I'm not the only one who has sensed it clearly. She kind of references you and your companions. And so we have called a moot with the other rangers of the north, or at least as much of them as we could get in such a short time. As I said, we are meeting at the watchtower of Amansul to discuss what should happen, how best to handle this, to compare notes. And I do believe that your companion Orphan will be in attendance. I assume he is on his way there now, if not there already.
Seems very compelled to do what is right to help lead his people.
He does, doesn't he? Why were you tracking the troll?
Well, it was very strange because the troll actually was here in town, as I said. It was digging up graves, freshly dug graves. At least one. Someone here had died, and their nephew was very convinced, very much convinced, that he had some sort of treasure trove. One night, while he was trying to rob his uncle, he came into this very tavern and said that he saw the troll. We ran out and caught the troll leaving town. It actually even thought to refill the grave in. Perhaps foolishly, we tracked it, trying to see if we could find any other reasons why it would have targeted this specific grave in this specific town. It was seemed very particular. We when we searched the troll's den, we did find that it had a map belonging to the one who had died. So maybe it has been collecting treasures. There were many things in the cave.
Trolls are scavengers. Any meat relatively fresh, and I say that loosely, acts as a good meal. For one to range this far north would mean that its normal feeding grounds are depleted. Interesting that it would come this far and not neither here nor there. You said a man was buried with a map? It is strange, no?
Oh, it was very strange. When we checked out the area, we did find what the map led to and almost lost our lives for it.
And what did the map lead to?
It was a what was it called? Hold on, there was a name, and I'm looking for the name.
The Black Barrow.
Yes, it was the Black Barrows.
I see. Do you still have the map?
No.
Roll me. Ooh,
I
roll.
do not have the map.
Yeah, that, okay, roll me persuade. I'll take that. I'll take that argument. Roll me persuade.
I never had the map.
That's true. That's true. You got me on a technicality there. I'll give you a bonus die for technically being correct.
Which is the best kind
That's
of
the best
correct.
kind of correct. It's true.
Things getting shiesty.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you say no, and she looks at you. There's definitely a pause. She says, "What did you find?"
We found a grave that had been robbed more times than I'd like to think about. And flooded.
Hmm.
We found more death over the treasures, the meager treasures that were left.
Interesting. If I may ask, the family, the buried man and his nephew, do you recall their names?
That was Timaeus and Thomas. Heatherton.
I thought your story sounded familiar.
I'm sorry?
I thought your story sounded familiar. I would advise you to burn the map, forget its location, and to tread carefully. I knew Timaeus. Well, I watched Timaeus whenever I could spare an eye. Several of us had. He was trouble. He fell in with a troubled lot. And I would be careful.
Have you seen the wanted posters around town of the dwarf?
Not that I noticed.
There's a dwarf who is named Gror. He knew Timaeus, or his brother did. One of the two. I think maybe, but they were both in on it. He was the reason why we almost lost our lives in that cave. He escaped. He seems to be working with some unsavory folks, so we're trying to track him down. If you hear anything or see him around.
I am headed back to the east once my companion is here. As I said, it seems as though you have already made enemies. I would be careful.
I'm always careful, but thank you.
Well, and she looks over your shoulder. perhaps your loud friends should be careful in your stead. They seem like the kind that would attract attention, whether the right kind or the wrong kind. I'm not entirely sure, but they don't
We're
seem
working
like the
on
careful type.
Yes.
The faces, guys, relax.
Wow.
such a
I don't
peanut
like
gallery.
her.
Such a peanut gallery back there.
I don't even like.
She looks to you and she says, I know that you take great care with Orphan. I know that he can be over enthusiastic at times. And I understand that you are somewhat of import in Rivendell. And she says that with like, she knows full well who you are, but doesn't want to say it because it kind of blows up your spot here in this tavern. I would be careful with your pursuits. There are things happening here that we are not fully aware of. And though you are careful and you are prepared, I would hate for you to find yourself in a situation which was unexpected that would result in a tragedy for Rivendell.
I understand.
I'm here till my companion arrives, and then we head east. If you see me here, I'm available for whatever questions you may have, you and your loud friends. If I'm not at this table, you can assume I've left the village.
Thank you. And,
She sort of nods to you, and as she sits back, that like gloam of shadow sort of cascades back over her, and she just sinks back into her chair.
how Aragorn of her. All right, I go back to my friends.
He had to learn it from somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who's your shady friend?
That was Haleth, and she thinks you're very loud.
Well, yeah. She's astute.
She is.
Wait, what does she mean by loud?
You attract a lot of attention,
Oh, then yes. That is correct.
good and bad.
Also true, not denying it. But I'm still here, aren't I? What does this happen often to you? You talk to people in the corner.
Yes, that's how I get information. You
Does she know anything about the man on the poster? Sorry, the dwarf on the poster.
No. Though she does know a bit about Timaeus. Well,
Oh,
did. He apparently fell in with a bad crowd, and they the rangers in this section would, or in her section, would keep an eye on him.
oh. Well, that didn't work out very well.
Well, there's only so much you can do for someone who does not want to be seen.
Right. Just so you know, Yoldrick, the Timaeus, he's dead. Not our fault, but he's not with us no more. Neither is his nephew. That one might have been a little our fault.
Did the people
Um,
that travel with you often die?
Well, I've been traveling with
hold
Willie
on.
for a long time, and nobody dies.
Timaeus died before we arrived. We had nothing to
Yeah,
do
that's
with
what I
that.
said. I said Timius
Oh.
wasn't our fault, but Thomas, his nephew, well,
It
we
was
may have
also
had
not our fault. I
a
told him
little.
to go home.
It's true. We gave him many opportunities to, and he did follow. So it is really his fault. I'm just saying, we're still struggling with a little guilt. I guess you might say a little bit over poor Thomas.
Well,
Rest his soul.
then perhaps a drink to your fallen friends is in order, and
I mean, it's been like a month. We could drink to Thomas. At least we finally remembered his name.
He tried
Here's to
kill
you,
me.
Thomas. He did try to kill Willie.
Calling him a friend is a bit of a stretch there.
I mean, it's been a month.
He still tried to kill me.
Okay, but usually over
And he cast
one
his own
moon
stone.
cycle.
He
Look,
made
if
a choice.
if I failed to drink for every time somebody tried to kill me, well, I'd be sober.
I understand that.
Well, from no, I don't want to know the answer to that question. Never mind.
Okay, I'll tell you. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Nope. I don't want to know.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask how such a company gathered in the first place, and what
You
is your
see,
aim?
I kept breaking down Bilbo's fence, right? Because I was trying to get, him to sit down and tell me what really happened when he was traveling with me.
Baggins.
He's the only one I know. I've been trying to get him to sit down and tell me the truth of what really happened when he was traveling, to go kill Smog. Well, that turned out for all of us, but I want the truth because, the dwarves, we like to stretch our stories a little bit. And now that my father's sitting on all his gold, the stories aren't really the truth. So I know Bilbo knows something. So I came down here and thought, you know what? I'm going to get the truth from old Bilbo Baggins. Problem is, he had Willie fixing his fences. So every time I break through, Willie would fix the fence. And then one day, well, I bumped into Willie trying to break down his fence. And, we became friends. And then I was like, oh, you want to drink and travel together? And
I see. Well, I don't mean to impugn on your kindness for too much longer.
wait, you're leaving? You can't leave. You just got here.
Well, you told me that Gwar was heading east. I would like very much to catch up with him. We have
Well,
words.
we could go. I'd like to catch him too. What do you think, California? We could maybe just go get a dwarf and question him a little bit and maybe get some information.
I don't intend for the questions to last too long.
Okay, that's intimidating.
So it's
You look more pensive than usual, Elavorneth.
Yes, well, it feels like I have many puzzle pieces and none of them fit together quite right.
Sometimes what you need is just another pair of eyes on a puzzle. So, put your troubles on the table. We'll drink and figure it out.
I will stick to water again.
Right. Well, you'd still drink water.
Yes. Well, so the Haleth did give me more information than just that. The particularly about the troll that we followed. That is an ancient troll. Even for troll standards, he's very, very old. She was quite impressed, Willie, that you survived the encounter. I did tell her you are smarter than you look, so hopefully she will remember that if it ever comes up again. Let's see. That troll was actually last encountered around Rivendell about 30, 40 years ago or so.
Oh.
It seems to have moved quite a lot. Oh, she also said that it's a good thing that we did not kill it because they know how to track it and where it goes. So it's easier to
Oh,
keep
wait,
an
they're
eye
like
on a
watching it?
known. Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm really glad we didn't kill it then.
Yes. Rangers aren't entirely just there to
Can
kill
I
things.
ask what they might be following an ancient troll for?
Well, tells us a lot about what else is in the area, since many things won't take up the same residence as a troll. They will eat just about anything, as you saw with Timaeus. Actually, the troll's mere presence here in town was an alarm of sorts, because it's much too north and east
Hmm.
for
Yes,
his
you said
normal
from
range.
Rivendell. That's a long way.
It is. You remember how long we had to follow it to get to its lair. That means there's nothing there to eat. He had to come all
Huh.
this way. She was also very keen on the map. She said to burn the map and forget the place it was.
Mm-hmm.
What does this map lead to?
Well,
Black Barrow?
Might
yeah,
I
the
see
Black
it?
Barrows. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll slide my book over and open it up to where I kind of copied out the map. I can give you all the details. So it's a map, but around the edges of the map on the north, south, east, west corner are some dwarvish. Come to find out, it was smoke letters. And it's written in the old Moria tongue. Um, and what we found out was basically it led us to the Black Barrows, to this old tomb, where we encountered Grorg, whatever his name is. And then we got locked in the tomb for a little bit. Then we kind of escaped it. We found some treasure, lots of it. And we did find out that it is said that the tomb is part of maybe an old ancient, hang on, Sid, like, oh, here we go. What did I say? Yes, it was an old Arthrodine king, last king that's buried there, says the dwarvish. Oh no, it's a lord from an ancient northern kingdom. So this ruin it was on was a lord from an old ancient northern kingdom. But everything there in the barrows is sunk down except for the throne and the tomb barrows that we entered. So, we're not really looking to go back. It's not an easy trek through the marshes.
Is there anything I could roll to see if I would recognize the treasure that they're looking for being around that area?
Yeah, you know what? Roll me. Roll me, I think.
Oh my god, you want me to really travel? Oh, okay. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
yeah, such a good roll for you. No, I think I'm gonna have you roll me riddle.
Oh, okay, that's actually another decent one.
Look at
Ooh,
that.
a
Look
great
at that.
a great feat success. Okay, cool. So a feat success
Setting the tone. Setting the tone.
plus 1 extra 6. Yeah, first roll of the night for Noir, and crushed it. In your travels, this side of the Misty Mountains, after your encounter with Gror, perhaps you kept an ear to the ground after you got a bad sense from him. and you have heard rumors and hearsay and idle chatter of coin being passed in sometimes large quantities. Sometimes people are being hired from various areas, various farmsteads to haul things in boxes and barrels that are unseen. To the best of your knowledge, it seems as though in the immediate area in the north of Bree, ruins are being found and spelunked. There doesn't seem to be any like radius or path to which these are, but from what you can piece together, it does seem to be, if not Gror, it does seem like a lot of work for one dwarf. Perhaps his boss is seeking ancient tombs and ancient ruins. This could be one of them.
I'm just going to like lean over Glofrin's book and point on the map north where the new runes are being found and excavated and go, this is where they're doing their work. This is where they're looking.
And to the north of Bree.
Yes.
So what? He's just sending out his lackeys to go and dig up every tomb he can find?
He wants this treasure, and he cannot have it.
Well, I don't know about the lots of you, but I don't know how to stand up against, say, a sorcerer. But if there's one thing Glowfrom's good at, it's tricking people. So I have thought. If it's true, Gror is out there helping. What if we set ourselves a little trap? We could start that rumor mill we're so good about, that there's been an ancient tomb in a location, and we set a trap for him. Draw him in. And if we can't draw him in, we're going to draw in at least some of this sorcerer's lackeys. Still question him. False information, ambush, little information.
I'm sure that you and your friends here will devise a clever ruse that will accomplish your aims, but I am a much simpler dwarf. I find that nothing is more clever than an axe.
Oh, you're going to get to use your axe just, after they show up at the false location and we can like trap them or whatever. But, we're just not really front linemen, if you know what I mean. I don't really do violence too much.
A pacifist?
More like I fight if I have to for survival, but I don't go seeking a fight. War has kind of ruined our people, so why would I support such a lifestyle?
I understand.
But I'm not saying your axe is very shiny, and I really like your armor, and it's no offense taken. Honestly, if it means anything, Glowfrom's really good with a blade and a bow, but Willie and I, we're kind of soft around the edges, if you know what I mean. No offense, Willie.
Well, the world will always need books. And he kind of gestures at your book.
Hey, thanks. My thoughts exactly. But so I can stick around long enough for me to write these books, and then for them mean anything to anybody in the future. We could really use, a front lineman. Maybe you could take up the road with us.
To travel with me is to share in my shame. Is that something that you would invite.
I mean, I bought you a drink because of your quote-unquote shame. I'm just saying, it could be fun. And, you got information, we've got information. It seems like, our roads are converging. It might be good for a bit. And then, if you need to go off and swing your axe elsewhere, we're free spirits here.
I'm sort of pretty fortunate. It pays.
It's true. We'll pay you in gold. I don't really keep it. Nasty business gold.
I have more than enough to sustain myself. You're welcome
Well-
to whatever share I would acquire along our journeys, as long as you both find it acceptable to have my company, Master Elf, Master Hobbit.
I've heard nothing but good things about you. Glowfrom literally only ever says, but Uldrick, yes, my hero. Oh, all the days I wish I could meet them so that I can write them more down in my book.
You're on my list with Bilbo Baggins.
Good
That-
You're
list, not
on
the
the
bad one.
list. Not yet the good list. This is the the hopeful list. This is like fate in the story. This is the moment in the story where everybody comes together and fate has brought in all of the players. Now we just got to figure out what it all means.
Speaking of that, Willie, Glowfrom, Yoldrick,
Oh.
roll me an awareness check.
Ooh,
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
I'm so good at awareness.
I'm so
Except I'm
not.
terrible at it.
No, it's like 6 drinks in and some lambra spread. I don't see
Yeah.
nothing.
Outstanding.
Yeah. I see
But
absolutely
that's-
nothing.
Great.
Oh, there you go. Willie sees it though.
Success.
Outstanding.
Tell me what you see with your hobbit eyes.
Look, Elvorneth came here, slapped some herbs down on the table, and I've been smoking them. Now they probably weren't meant to be smoked; they said they were meant for a tea. But you know what? Sometimes a good tea is a good, little, adds a little spice to it. So I've been smoking them. Very alert right now. Very alert.
You know what they say, you smoke some chamomile, you can see a mile. No, that's not what they say.
Oh no,
Uh,
that's going in the book. That is exactly what they say.
Hey, roll up that Earl Grey, Phil.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, to talk about a wakey bake, a little, breakfast.
Um.
Little
Oolong
hot
makes
tea.
me strong.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ.
Did you say, just for the record, with chamomile you can see a
I
mile?
said, smoke some chamomile, you can see a mile. Yoldrick and Glowfrom, the two, arguably the two loudest among you, hear nothing. Elverneth, you clock this far sooner than everyone else. There was no need for you to roll this. Willie, you hear the conversation about the book and how Yoldrick is on Glowfrom's list. And as the discussion of fate sort of comes out of Glowfrom's mouth, you realize that there's a distinct absence of noise here at the Inn of the Prancing Pony. In fact, there is almost no noise in here. You could hear a glass drop. And as you and Elverneth sort of look around the room, you see that for the first time in arguably weeks, your group has the least amount of attention. And whoever that shadowy figure that Elverneth was talking to has gotten up from their chair and is walking across the bar. And every single eye, and now yours, fall on this person. And you can see around the room that there is a mix of fear, distrust, disgust. It looks like everyone wants to tell this person to get out, but no one has the balls to do so. As she quietly walks across the tavern directly at the two of you. And in the middle of Yoldrick and Glowfirm discussing fate and books and potential interviews, she places her hands down on the table and she says, if the four of you plan to keep shouting about the goings-on of your little company and who you plan to hunt down and who you plan to kill, perhaps someone will take notice. And she just side-eyes Elverneth for not keeping your friends quiet.
Okay, well, I'm Glowfrom. It's nice to meet you.
I've heard. We've all heard. I'm
You
sure
are?
that Chetwood has heard.
Well, I ain't got nothing to hide. Do you?
There is
She-
plenty of hot things to hide, Glowfrom.
But I don't have nothing to hide. That being said, I keep my business where it needs to be.
Clearly, out in the
But
open.
it's quite rude to be coming up to somebody sitting at a table.
Yes,
Coming
do you
over
have
here
a
trying to
name?
scold us like we're children.
You are
It's
children.
rude.
Actually,
At that, Yoldrick's actually going to stand up.
don't think that's very nice.
She
And we appreciate your kindness of filling Elabornith in on some information, but we're genuinely not your enemy.
she keeps her hands on the table, Yeldrick, but she definitely looks at you as you stand up.
Yeah, he's just going to lean over the table and go, it's very clear that you're able to observe the right way and the wrong way to do things. You came over to let us know that we're holding our conversation in the wrong way. I'm letting you know that you've informed us in the wrong way. Now, I can guarantee I can withstand the consequences of my mistake. Can you?
Her face cracks into a smile. This like stone-faced, placid woman. Her face cracks into like a grin, and she just sort of looks at you. Not like what you just said is funny to her, but like there's almost a weird level of pride. And she kind of like nods to you and looks to Elverneth and says, this one. I like this one. I meant no insult, Master Dwarf. You are being loud. That is true. Bree and the surrounding Bree lands have eyes and ears. What you're discussing may make you more enemies than this. And she points to the wanted poster that's on the table. This Gror. You don't know
Well-
who's here. You don't know who's around you. And you may end up in deeper trouble than you already are in.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we ain't got nowhere else to go. You got a better place for us to discuss it?
No. What I have is a tip. Rather than head out into the wilderness and stumble your way into who knows what, I suggest you head east. There's a place just off the Greenway called the Forsaken Inn. You may have heard of it. If you have spent enough time in the Breelands, you've probably heard of it.
Yeah, I know of that place. I don't go very often.
No one does if they can avoid it. There is a man named Malor. He's a ranger of the north, like myself. She looks over at Elrond and says, he will not be attending the moot. He may be of assistance to you.
Huh.
I don't know your... And she picks it up, the wanted poster. I think you spelled his name incorrectly. I don't know him. But I've heard of his name. Gron. And she points at where you have Gror.
Well, damn it. Now I'm going to have to do it all over again.
Actually, Anyone who wants to. Anyone who
Oh,
wants to.
can I roll for that name?
Yeah, anyone who wants to, except for Yoldrick. Roll me. Let's see. It's going to be either lore or riddle. Riddle. Roll me riddle. Anyone who
Damn.
wants to, roll me riddle.
Okay. I don't get anything extra, just a flat roll.
Just a
Oh.
flat roll.
Okay. A success.
You're not incorrect, Glowfram. You
Oh.
met and you drew Gror. You know from a conversation and a tattered note.
Yeah, he
that
has a
one of-
brother.
One of the set of bones belonged to his brother, Gron.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and it's not like I really want to say you're wrong, but I want to correct you on that. That is in fact Gror. His brother Gron was found dead in a tomb in the middle of, the Midwater Marshes. Little barrow down, got buried down, you know what I mean?
As you say, Barrow and Midwater Marshes, she
And I would say at this point to Capiza, I am not yelling. I'm
Yeah.
at a dwarven whisper.
yeah, which is a regular voice for most people. She
Try and hear, Mike.
very rude, Yoldrick. She reaches across as you say Midwater Marshes in a barrow, and she puts a finger on your mouth. Glowfram.
Well,
You'll be
I'm-
removing that.
Things are best left unsaid. Speak
Okay.
to Malor. If his brother is dead and he has returned, then Gorlank has returned.
Well, yeah, that's the mystery we're trying to solve here.
Speak to Malor. His band were one of the originals that drove him south from these lands some 30 years ago. If you're going to find information about Malor, or find information
That
about
makes
Gorlank,
sense. That
that's
makes
your
so
starting
much
point.
sense. Okay. Well, I will say thank you because I'm polite. For your kindness. Does your friend here, the one at the Forsaken Inn, does he, is he as nice and helpful as you are?
She has a smile again, and her face absolutely is one of amusement. And she says, "No." She looks back to Elberneth again and says, "There's a reason he was not invited to the moot. He is your best source of information."
To Glorfim, I'm just gonna ask in Dwarven as quietly as I can,
Mhm.
would you like blood or an apology?
I'd like for her to take her finger off me lip. Anybody that gets that close to me mustache owes me something, you know what I mean?
Accent in the accent on the table.
I gently remove her finger very tenderly. And I say, well, I guess we'll go to give your friend a visit. We appreciate your candor.
Good luck.
If you ever want to do anything else with that finger, I'll be the loud one in the corner booth.
Never with a dwarf.
Well, you're missing out.
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, rude. Absolutely rude.
She stands, and
Never seen such a thing.
as the small folk descend into laughter, she says in Quenya to Elberneth, "I'm trying to keep you and your friends alive. Good luck." And there is an air of sarcasm, like you have your work cut out for you, as she sort of nods to you, and unless you stop her, she's going to return to her seat.
Just to roll back, and also in Quenya, I say, I'll need it.
She smiles genuinely and disappears back to the side of the room. And as she sits back down in there, eventually the din of the tavern sort of comes back to life, as if something paused the tavern and is slowly, bringing it back. Leaving the four of you at a table with at least a bit of a new information and a possible ally.
Well, let me just say in my whisper voice so she don't come back.
Yeah, cone of whisper.
Maybe it was her finger on me lips, but I'm feeling real saucy about hitting the road.
I could do with some violence.
So maybe like in daylight we can, hit or patter out of town for a bit, go find this terribly nice, not mysterious at all, or kind of worrisome fella hiding at a place called the Forsaken Inn.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Drinks on me.
Oh, please tell me we can keep him.
We could definitely use someone who can fight. I have a feeling, Glowfrom, that your mouth will get us into situations that my sword just isn't enough for.
But I tell you, it can also get us out of situations.
Some.
Well,
Not the ones that I'm worried about, though.
Oh, well, there's only one way to find out.
it'll be nice to fight alongside an elf again.
Again? How many elves did you fight through? I've had a bit of much.
Willie, I think you should probably stop smoking that. It really isn't supposed to be smoked.
Great, I'm having a gale time.
A chamomile time.
Stop smoking that lemongrass, please.
And Master Hobbit, I only ever fought alongside one. I fought against more than. It's a nice change of pace.
And that is where we end this episode of Shattered Crown. I will say we got a corruption bar here, and though it didn't become apparent in the episode, I used the corruption bar. You have been noticed.
Let's go! I'm ready to fight!
Loved that. Loved that.
It's fucking Noir tries to fight the town of Bree.
1v1 you scrubs!
Outstanding.
The shit out of that.
It's just the town, not the people, just the actual town itself.
Yeah.
He tries to fight
Just
the...
punching signs and kicking fences.
It's like the gazebo meme. It's like, it's not a gazebo. All right, let's go around, do our introductions so we can get the hell out of here, do our after show, and get that uploaded for you guys over on Patreon. Again, if you guys like we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is on that Patreon, link down below. While you're down there, click on that Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. But for now, we're going to start with our newest player here at the table. Noir, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hi, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Please check out my website, the Noir Enigma. I've got merch out there. Please help. I'm poor. You can find me every Friday on Gen Con's Table Takes, where we talk about all the newest stuff going on in the TTRPG scene. And of course, you can check out my podcast with my sister, Dungeons and Dragons, where we talk about more news, but with 100% more accountability. And boy, do we have a topic this week, so check it out.
I'm muted. Hell yeah. Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hello, friends. You can find me as Little Red Dot online, where Little Red Dots are found. I spend most of my time over with Cobalt Press now. I'm their marketing director. The rest of the time is here on this lovely channel with my best friends in the whole world. And the rest of the time, I'm over there making Pod by Night happen. So if you want podcast, the best podcast available for after hours, baby. After dark podcasting, you know where to find it. Right now, we're doing a lot of World of Darkness, but we're growing, and we got a new Twitch channel. So if you prefer the Twitch thing, you check us out on Saturdays. Yeah, that's a very short answer for a very busy life. Heyo.
True. That's true. Gnome, same questions. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Hi, my name is Noob. You can find me at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and basically everywhere else at NoMedic. I don't know. I'm here. That's what I got going on right now. I'm here.
That's true.
It's great. I don't know.
That's
Follow
true.
me on socials. That's it.
Yeah, do that. Go do all the follows. And last but not least, Eris, I want to let you know I was editing the podcast version of Void, and I was listening to the first episode towards the end where I could cut off this part of the show, and I was reminded of several years ago when I mistakenly like my tongue got fat and I plubbed your name and called you R-ass, and it was hysterical. It was just as funny several years later. So Eris, who
Great.
are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
You know, I thought I was past the point of people regularly calling me our ass, but I guess I'm just
Thank you for bringing it back up,
TTRPG's
Mike.
ass.
No,
But
you're
it's the
just
best
our
ass.
ass.
No,
Just
no, you're
ours.
yeah, I'm your ass.
Yeah,
Okay.
just ours, yeah.
Right. Hi, I'm Eris Savad. I make things like TTRPG accessories and jewelry fit for everyday or cosplay. You can find the things that I make at erissavad.com. If you use the code blowout, you can get free shipping now through Friday. That was just the cat going to the food. No crimes right now.
And don't forget, if you... I'm so sorry. If you want a piece of our ass, you can go over to erissavad.com and get yourself an ass hat. And we're done. That's
Is your
it.
next marketing, Eris. We can't have to end on that. It's too perfect.
That's it. That's it. That's it from all of us.
Hey, bye. Shut the fuck up,
We'll
Mike.
see you guys
Good
next
show
week. Bye-bye.